HarperCollins presents Edie's Home for Strays by Gracie Taylor, read by Dorothy Lawrence. Chapter 1. January 1941. Edie Cartwright had been staring into her cup of tea for nearly half an hour when Susan arrived to meet her at the Sparrow Café. The brew had long since grown tepid, but Edie kept her hands wrapped around it, trying to absorb the last bit of heat. It was so hard to get warm these days, with coal in such short supply. "Well, how do I look?" Susan asked, twirling for her. She was kitted out in her new uniform, the khaki skirt and jacket of the ATS, with a brass badge on her cap, polished to a high shine. It wasn't the most fetching of the Women's Auxiliary Services uniforms, but the tightly belted jacket clung, flatteringly, to Susan's Hedy Lamarr curves. And Edie reflected that her best friend would manage to look like a film star even dressed in an old potato sack, whereas her own scrawny frame bore so much resemblance to a bag of bones it was a wonder no one had tried to claim her for salvage. "Like the Third Reich's worst nightmare," she said, summoning a smile. "Old Adolf won't know what's hit him." Susan laughed as she took a seat. "Edie, I'm going to work as a dispatch rider in Hull. I'm not getting dropped in the heart of Germany." She watched as her friend absently stirred her now undrinkable tea. "Are you all right? You look unhappy." "Not unhappy exactly, just reflective. I can't help dwelling on the fact that after Alfie ships out tomorrow, you and I will be the last of our little set left. And in a few more weeks I'll be losing you too. That's one of the worst things about this war. I mean, apart from all the fighting, the way it breaks up families." Edie flushed. "I've always felt we were a family, you know. At any rate, the closest I have to one. I always hoped I might have you for a real sister one day," Susan said with a small smile. "Well, and so you do, in love, if not in law." Edie reached out to squeeze her hand. "I'll miss you to blazes, Sue. I'll write you all the time, twice every week. I cross my heart." "You bet I had. I only wish I was coming with you." "When are you going for your examination with Dr. Grant?" "Tomorrow." Edie held up her crossed fingers. "Wish me luck." "All the luck in the world, darling." Susan frowned as Edie took out her handkerchief to cover her mouth, while she let out a hollow cough. "But do take care, won't you? Don't push yourself to do more than you're capable of. It's just the dust. All these damned raids." The bell over the cafe door jingled, and Edie waved to the young soldier who entered. "Aha! Here he is. The man who's going to have this thing all sewn up by Easter." The two women got to their feet. Susan saluted as Edie mimed playing Hail the Conquering Hero on an invisible trombone. Alfie laughed as he tossed his cap onto the table. "At ease, ladies." He greeted them both with a kiss and took a seat. "Well, Alfie, what will you have for your goodbye supper?" Susan asked. "Anything you want, our treat. At least, anything, as long as it's fish and chips, because that's all they've got." "Fish and chips it is, then," he said, smiling. "You know, Sue, you never offered to buy your big brother fish and chips before he was going to war. What would you call this, the condemned man's last meal?" Edie shuddered. "Alf, I wish you wouldn't joke about that. It's bad luck." "Oh, don't worry about me, sweetheart. It'll take more than that Charlie Chaplin impersonator in Berlin to beat this soldier."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?